Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another kind of craft with me. I watched a video over with Julie over at Camelia Crafts Designs. She is fantastic to listen to. She's very funny. Her personality kind of rubs off on you when you watch her because she's just so real, and she's always just like talking to herself, like, you know, put your glue cap on, woman, and stuff like that. So she's really fun. But anyway, she did this thing that she called a journal page with pockets, flips, tucks, and more. So I wanted to give it a try because I am really challenged by things that turn and flip and go upside down and things like that. They don't work well for me. So I tried it with her. I think I did okay. This is the first one that I tried, and I think it's fine. So this is how it would open. We've got a pocket here, and then we could put some kind of closure here, and then it opens here, and this is where it would go into the signature. And then we have over here, we've got another pocket, and then we've got a flap here. I'm not sure what I want to do with that flap, if I just want to leave it like that, and that can be a journal space, which would be beautiful. I think that's probably what I'll do. But that's the one I did. The only thing that I did wrong, you guys, is I made it too tall. So I didn't think to cut it down. So my height is 8 1/4, which is too long. So on this one, I will be, oh, I got pin all over my desk. I will be cutting this down, which I can totally do. My camera is way too close. Oh my goodness. I can totally do. I just have to be prepared to re-glue my pockets because we've got a pocket here and then on the other side. I use 65-pound paper because that's what I generally have pre-printed in my stash. So that we might decorate this one on camera. I might fix this one and just kind of go with it, but we'll see. Then I did one with coffee dyed paper, which she also showed us how to do, not just me. I will link her video down below in the description box and over on my blog. So the other one I did was with coffee dyed paper. Same process, same principle, but we created this. Oh, how did it go even? Oh my goodness, how did it go? It went like this. So this one's gonna go into the signature here, and so it closes. No, because I didn't want the pocket on the front. This one I was not super thrilled about because I'm not real fond of having a pocket on the front of a page. I mean, I guess it's okay. I mean, we could totally go like this and have it be, well, we still have a pocket though. Wonder if we turned it the other way around. Let me play for just a second, guys. There is so much you can do with this whole, just this basic design, because as she describes, it depends on how you fold and how big you make the pockets. It just changes the look altogether. I like that better. So this would go in the signature. Then we've got a pocket, and then this flips. This is a pocket, and then on the other side we've got a pocket. So that's kind of different. But I'm not going to play with this one anymore. I might not even do that. Just depends on how smoothly or not smoothly this goes. So I already cut these down to 8 inches in height, because I'm comfortable with that, because my journal pages are usually, my journals are usually 6 by 9, and so that's plenty. I can do an 8-inch insert. So I cut 2 of the papers, and what I did, because it's really, I find it very confusing. Again, I'm challenged with flips and flaps and upside downs and backwards and upside down and all that. It's just really hard for me. So I picked a pattern that if I get it wrong, it's not gonna be ruined, right? It's not gonna look really weird because it's very the same. I am going to try to keep them in the same direction. So I've got them matching, so then I can tell that by this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's see, I'm going to put arrows up. So this is up, and this is up. And hopefully that's going to help me. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let me see if I can remember this. So this is up, and this is up. So I'm going to flip this one over, And we're going to fold this over just to create some stability here. She did a 3/4 of an inch. I don't think that's, I don't know what I have here. Let me see. Yeah, I guess I have 3/4 of an inch too. So this is a 20-pound paper. I thought I would try it with a lighter weight paper and see if that works better. And so then what you want to do is go ahead and glue this. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I've got these straight too. And this is going to make more sense as we move through. It was mind-boggling to me, completely mind-boggling. So we're going to turn it back over so it's going the same direction, which is this way. Yes, yes. So I believe I want to fold this one, except now that's upside down. I'm just going to do it, guys. We're going to learn together. And this doesn't have to be precise, this little extra fold. This is just to stabilize the pocket. So let's flip her over and see if she's going the right way. So I think that's right. So then what you're going to do is we're going to flip this over. And you basically, to know you have it right, is these are opposing. They're on opposite sides. So you wouldn't want it like this. You want it like this. In terms of, sorry, let me back up. Because what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down and we're going to create our first pocket, which is going to be this. So that is not right. It needs to be like that. Because we want that pocket there, and then when we flip it over, we'll have a pocket here. So that is making more sense. So I think I've got it right. This is not glued yet, so let me go ahead and do that really quick. I think I'm going to, yeah, on this one I'm just going to go ahead and glue. I think I would like to try one sewn. I might do that off camera and maybe show that in the video or the photos at the end. We'll see. Having trouble with my glue today. A lot of trouble. It just does not want to stay unclogged. There we go. So that should be good. So let me go ahead and give that a crease. Okay, and then let's glue this one down as well. And please, this is not a tutorial, so if you want to get the down and dirty, go to Julie over at Camelia Craft Designs, because she did an excellent job. Even though, even watching, I had to watch it like 4 times just because of the way that my brain works, and because I couldn't see every which way that she was turning, and because I hadn't yet tried one, I hadn't run into the, oh my goodness, I hadn't run into the problems because I hadn't tried it yet. So I think I did okay. But it's, I'm hoping that this is, I mean, that's why I'm saying this is a craft with me, guys, because I am still playing. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to turn this one over. So if you, like, let's say if you had it like this and you had your folded ends over, you would just turn this over, bring it over, and decide how much of a pocket that you would want to have. I think I want to go about 4 inches. That is actually what she did on camera on her first one. So I think I'm going to stick with that. So I just measured there. I'm going to move that up just so I can see where I'm going to glue. So I'm going to put a bead of glue here just on the edge. And as she mentioned, if you're going to sew it, you could go light on the glue. And then we do need to give this pause and let it dry well, because we're going to immediately start bending this, or we're going to bend this paper is the next step. We're going to start folding. So I'm just going to put that in place there. And I'm using that inexpensive glue that my pen is this is my favorite pen, and it is bleeding on my desk, so it needs to go in the trash. There we go. Done. See, it's on my paper towel. Goodness gracious. So we're going to go ahead and just press that down and get rid of that glue, and then we're going to turn it. So we're starting to form our pocket here. So we're glued on that side. So now we're going to turn it over and do the same. Obviously, you could glue it from the same side. You would not have to flip it. The flipping just helps me kind of keep track of what I'm doing, and it's helping me think through this process. I just don't do, I mean, clearly I'm directionally impaired even with paper. So I'm directionally impaired in every way in my life. It's just pathetic. But what I neglected to do was ink this. So I'm going to try to see if I can ink. I'm going to ink around, give this a bit of time to dry, and then we can come back and try to get this in there to ink. I am not used to using this lightweight paper, so it's challenging to kind of keep my hands on because it's very flimsy. Again, it's just 20-pound paper, and I generally create on and use 65-pound paper. So I am not liking this 20-pound paper, though. I'm going to tell you right now. I feel like it's too flimsy for a journal page. I use 65-pound paper, so I'm going to give it a try. This is actually going to go in my sister's blue journal, so I'm going to try to see if I can get this in and ink that up. I need to grab some kind of a piece of scrap paper here. Give me a moment. I got to get up. Because I want to be able to get this inked, because I neglected to do that. I'm just going to press that in there and then just kind of go like that. I don't usually like to do that, but I forgot to ink it first. That works out okay though. And flip it over and do the other side. Oh my goodness, I'm off camera. I'm so off today. There we go. I say that a lot, don't I? Goodness gracious. Okay, so I think that's probably set enough. So we're going to go, what you're going to do is, I like to keep it like this so that the right side, well, so the reality is if you had coffee dyed paper, it wouldn't matter because chances are it's going to be the same. But what I've been doing is I've been printing something and then putting coffee or tea stain paper on the back of it, like what I did with this one. So I tried to match this paper, and I think I did a pretty darn good job, so that we've got that nice writing space and blank space on the back. So we're going to go ahead and fold this, and the way I did the last one, the coffee dyed one, wasn't a big fan of the way that we folded it, but you could fold it, the farther over you go here, the smaller your pockets are going to be. So let me show you what I mean. So if we folded it there, and I turn this over, those are our narrow pockets, and that would be the same on the other side. So I want to, and this is upside down. It is upside down. Don't think it really matters at all, but yeah, so we're just going to go with it. So I'm going to go about here. So let me see what my measurement is, just in case you're trying to follow along. We'll go 1.5 inches. So having trouble staying in camera today, you guys. So we're going to just line that up along this edge, and then I'm going to give this a gentle press. Hopefully. Yep, I think that's a good pocket. I don't like my pockets to be too small, but as Julie describes in her video, there's so many variations to the way you do this to get whatever result you want. So there we've got that. So what happens then is you can fold this over and kind of have it be like a folio. And I think I ended up okay because those, well, maybe this is an image that's not really, can't really be upside down. So I'm going to go a little bit further with this because I want it to be about 5 inches. So that looks to be about right. So I'm folding this back on itself, and I just lost my my position here. So let me get that, push that out a little bit more, and roughly, I'm not trying to be precise. So then we can just crease that as well. I look forward to making more of these so that I can get my mind completely around the directional stuff that I'm struggling with. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this right now while I'm thinking about it. I could probably do that afterwards, but just get it out of the way. And I'm going to ink this edge. This is the the edge that's going to go into the signature. So this is an actual signature page. So then what she did is then for your back side, she just used this as a guide. I'll erase those pencil marks too. And then just kind of did that, and then just gently creased it just to get that line, and then turned it over. Or maybe, I think I want it like this. Nope, I don't think that that's going to work. You could have that's a really small pocket. And that's a bigger pocket. So interesting, isn't that? That is really kind of cool. I love the versatility, but I'm not feeling that. So let's fold it back on itself. So print to print here. Trying to, oh my goodness, should have just marked that. Let me mark that because I'm having trouble following. Having trouble following my own self. There we go. Okay, so give that a crease. And give it a good press with the bone folder. Get a nice solid crease. And so this is the front. And so then when it goes in the signature, it's going to go in here. We've got a small pocket. And what we could do is just have this fold out and be a writing space. I think I will fold it back on inside and have it be a writing space. So that when it's in the signature, it's going to go like this, and then the person could just write on that area while it still has a little bit of stuff in the pockets there. I'm going to go ahead and erase that mark. And then I think we're going to decorate this a little bit, maybe. Okay, and that arrow's covered over. So, and again, I do not like the flimsiness of this. I will not be doing this again with 20-pound paper. It's just not strong enough for me. So I'm just going to ink that really quick here. And then how do we want to decorate it? I don't know. I should probably just get another coffee dyed paper for you guys to see how we did the coffee dyed. So I think I'm going to grab another piece of this. I should have some here in my cart. Give me just a second. Clank, clank, clank. As I mentioned in another video, I can't get out from my desk area with my cart right there, so I have to move it out of the way so that I can move about. So I've just got my Ruby and Pearl folder here, looking for another copy of that blue because I think I want to use it. It's right there, and this is also on the 20-pound paper. So, and the reason for that is I like to make my clusters. I think I'm going to make a cluster on the front of this, as well as I'm going to fold a bit of this down. I don't care about that white border, but I'm going to fold this in half, like about there, and so I can get some kind of a closure. I usually like, you could do a button closure, which I'm not going to do on 20-pound paper. That would be a disaster for me. I mean, it's easy enough in that you wouldn't have to do an eyelet. You could just do your circle, and then your circle and a brad in the inside, but then you're exposing that your brad is going to show. So I don't prefer that, at least not at this point in my journey. So I'm going to grab one of my favorite punches that I like to use for making closures, and that's this one. And I apologize, guys. I've had people ask me before, where did I get it? I don't know. Like, I can't find it online now. So it's a Fiskars, but that's all I can tell you. So, and what we're going to do with this is we're going to make a closure that is going to sit on here, and then this will be able to just easily tuck under it. So I'm doing 2 of these because they're very thin. In fact, I almost feel like they're still too thin. I'm not liking that at all. I mean, it just feels, because that's 40-pound now. I'm going to cut one more. This is just to satisfy me, you guys. Probably overkill, but I'm going to do it. So, let go. I just need one more of these, so I'm just gonna put that on the back, and then I'm gonna glue all these together. I will be right back. Okay, just putting this last piece on here, and I'm getting really frustrated with that white glue that one that is that I got so cheap on Amazon, because I have nothing but trouble with it. I didn't even have this much trouble with Art Glitter Glue or Barely Arts, where I cannot get it to come out of here at all. Like, it's just stuck. And I've cleaned it and I don't understand. So this is more like the weight that I would be using. So 20, 40, 60. So this is 60 pound equivalent. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this really quick. This is going to go in my big sister's journal. I'm making her a blue journal, as I mentioned. It's for her birthday, but I can't make a journal and have it for somebody for their birthday because it takes a long time. Still prepping. I'm still getting ideas. I'm starting to create a little bit of ephemera, but that's about as far as I've gotten. So I want to put my closure about right there. And so basically is all you're going to do is glue it from, so I'm going to just kind of go from here. I'm going to make a pencil line here. So right there. And that's where my glue is going to go. And I'm done with that white glue. So I'm going to grab my Barely Arts and see if she's going to play nice. So, oh, where was I? Here. So we're going to just run some glue over here. I think my pen was rusty. I ran out of pens too, which is really problematic because I can see some orange tint in that. Not good. So basically then I'm just going to flip this over and try to keep it lined up there so that it doesn't get stuck. So I stick it on there just so that's in place, and then I pull this out immediately just to make sure that it doesn't stick prematurely. So we want that to dry really well before we fold that back in. I mean, I can try to kind of show you how it's going to look. Probably have it a little bit too much, but oh, you know what? I did it backwards. Doggone it. Let me try that again. Another thing I don't like about coffee dyed paper, 20-pound paper. So I wasn't over far enough. We need more of this on this side than this side. So my apologies, you guys. Let me try that again. So this time we want all the glue from here. But I'm concerned about oh, that's clear. So maybe it was just the end bit that got a little bit of rust in there, which is not good. Not good. That's why I use stainless steel pens, but I ran out, so what do you do? What do you do? So I'm going to try to put it over where I just was because that's a mess. So I'm just going to drop it right there, and I'm going to pull this paper out again so it doesn't prematurely stick to something I don't want it to stick to right now. So that is that. So that's going to be there. And let's just give that a second to dry before we move on. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's see if this is dry enough to risk that, because I really need it closed to work on the rest of the front of this. So just getting that in there. Oh my goodness gracious, Cara-Renee. It's not working. Now it's glued too far. Okay, so now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to trim this off a little bit, which is not a big deal at all. This is called improvising. So I just want to estimate how much I need to. It's not much. I mean, like very, very little. So I'm just going to use my trimmer and just trim that off just a smidge. That's probably more than a smidge, but I really want to be sure that it's okay. So that looks to be pretty good. So I'll get that out of the way. Not going so great now. There we go. That's what we wanted. So a little uneven here, but I'm gonna just be okay with it. So come on. This paper, I do not like this 20-pound paper. It is so hard to ink, and I just don't like it. I'm used to the 65-pound, and this is just really, really trying my patience. So there we go. So we're going to stick that back in there because I need that closed while I'm working. So we're gonna do we're gonna put some lace on. I found this in my drawer, and I thought this would be a great lace to introduce into her journal. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use that. I like the white. I love the cream laces too, but this is really cool too. Need my Fabri-Tac, which I didn't prepare. So I need my little cup, and I'm just going to tip that over for a second and get it ready. So I think I want this lace to just go along that edge, which is going to be absolutely gorgeous. So I think we'll do it on both. So we'll do it on this piece and the other piece. Well, no, we don't want to do it on this piece because we want that to be able to open, and that will impede that opening. So we will not be doing that. The only bummer thing is that this can't be written on. I might put a little piece of coffee dyed paper there so that it could be versatile writing space, but we'll see. So what I like to do, if you've seen my videos before, I kind of like to put that there. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So I just have a general idea what my glue line needs to be. I also need to stick a piece of paper here so that I don't get any glue on the other page. So I'm just going to put that there. And we're going to use some Fabri-Tac here. And I'm just going to run that glue all along here. Just like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on. I like to have it extend off both ends so I can just trim it evenly. And I don't have to really worry too much about anything. And I like to turn it over so that I can see if it's even, which it's not. So I'm going to move that down a little bit. And let me grab a paper towel, and I'm just going to press that a little bit. I know that the white is a little bit stark on this given the cream background, but what I'm seeing is what's catching my eye is the white in these watercolor flowers. So that's what I'm trying to capitalize on and accentuate here. So that's why I went for the white lace. So I'm just going to trim that. Oh goodness gracious. I'm going to trim this off as well. So there we go. And this side. There we go. It's good enough for me. Let me get that out of the way. I love that. I absolutely love that. Oh, you know what we could do though is we could put it on this edge, because when it's folded in, it's going to be here, and I think that would be pretty. So let's do that. I'm just trying to think it through. I just don't want to affect the writing space. I think that will work. So let me go ahead and put that there again, and we're going to get another piece of lace. I won't be doing any journal cards or anything for this right now. I probably will do that off camera, and because I think I'm probably going to make some of the more scrappier tags out of some of the Ruby and Pearl stuff. So this time we want it to go into the inside like that. So I have a pretty good idea of my width now since I've done it once. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply my Fabri-Tac. I mainly just wanted to show you the construction of this because it's so epic. Like, what a great versatile project. Like, you might have to practice it a little bit because it is hard. Like, at least it's hard for me. I know that comes naturally for other people sometimes more than others, but not for me. Even Julie was having a hard time. She finally wrote little arrows on her project because it's easy to just turn your papers and get everything all the wrong way, and then if you don't recognize that, then you've kind of messed up your project. So let's go this way. So the only other thing we're going to do today on this is I'm going to create a cluster on the front of the page here. I am loving this. I love that. And I love this lace. Oh my gosh. That was great. And see how that's going to come out a little bit. And that is okay because now with the lace, it is measuring 5 1/4, so it's going to be great in this journal. So, and our closure is working fine. So I'm going to create a cluster here. I need to grab some scraps from my scrap bin. I have a general recipe that I use for clusters. So I usually grab a piece of, you know, sometimes I'll grab like some specialty paper. I'll grab some book page. I used a bunch of them on another project, so hopefully I've got some book pages in here still. Just give me a second to look. I've got some tissue paper. That's always fun too. Oh, I forgot about that. This is some of that mixed media paper we did. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome. Oh, this would be lovely too. That's some of my embossed paper. Forgot about that. I don't know if I want to use it here. And that's a little bit too grayish looking. Let's go with that. Just hunting for some book page here. There's some book page, music page, and here's some vintage. Let's see if that's going to be enough. And then we'll use a piece of this paper, which is why I actually cut another piece, is because I will use this now in the journal to bring out this pattern in other things. So what I like to do is put the cluster down here. So I'm going to decide how I want this to go. I really don't tend to go, I tend to go wide with my clusters, but I suppose we don't really have to do that. We could do something different. Different is good. I'm not liking that though. But then it's sideways. But it's not going to matter if it's sideways because it's just a cluster. We're just going to go with it. I need to get rid of this. This is folding over here, so I'm just going to kind of tear that a little bit because it's probably just going to break off anyway. Oh, come on. Like so. So we've got that. That's better. And then I like to use a piece of something. I think this is probably too light. It would be lovely if I could find something in a green tone to put on here to bring out the leaves. That's a little bit too springy green. Just going to fish around here in my little bucket here. Just a second. Oh, I got some more book page. That one might be better. I didn't go all the way to the back of the bucket, so hold on. Hold on. Why can't I find anything green? This is bizarre. That is green though. Let's use that. This is another one of those. This is that paper that we used. We threw it all into a bucket and tossed it and came up with these, and then sprinkled it with gold paint and stuff. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This is just going to add a little pop of color to this, which I think is going to be pretty. So, but this is not going to work because it's tall, and I don't tend to do them tall. I tend to do them wide. So I'm going to use this book page. We might not need music page. I usually just do one or the other. I don't need both. But I do want something to contrast the back there, so I need something a little bit darker. So hold on. Usually, you know, I have all this stuff already pulled, so you guys aren't having to deal with my hunting expedition for the right thing. But it's got me in the raw here today, which is okay. This would probably be okay. Well, except it's not big enough. Is it? Let's see. This is that embossed paper that I make, which I love. So let's see if we can use this. This would be a nice contrast. I think that will work. We're going to find out. And then I just love those edges that are all torn and grungy looking, and then we can kind of go over this with the thing, and it brings out all that texture. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to try to see if I can not cover all that up. Beautiful. So I want that on the bottom because I really need that I really need that contrast. And then I think I'll tear this a little bit smaller, but then that's going to have to be smaller as well. Adding and taking away, adding and taking away. It's all right. We're just doing it together. I want some of that to show, so that's what I'm after here. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing as I go here, because I know I want this to be the base of my cluster. So I'm going to put her right there. Perfect. And then we'll put the book page here, and we're still going to see some of that texture. I feel like I want something underneath this, though. I wonder if I have a white piece of lace I could. Oh, there's a white piece, and it's not the same, but it would go with that. Just because I do like to have lace between my layers as well. Oftentimes. Well, all the time. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okie dokie. Try this. I don't want to lose everything, but see, so how you can still see that that writing through there, which is one of the things that I love. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on, and we'll put the lace on top of the book page, but be underneath the next layer. So we'll do that. Where'd the lace go? Is this the one? Nope, that's not the one. Right there, Cara-Renee, in front of your face. So we're going to put that there. And I am using just my Fabri-Tac because I am working with textile stuff here. And I think that's okay. It just kind of gets hidden a little bit. Let's bring just the lace down here. I'll try anyway. Oh goodness gracious. Convalescent, that's what it says. Great choice, Cara-Renee. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then we've got this beautiful green that I think will be, I almost think that's too bold for that now. What do you guys think? I was thinking that would be good. But this is actually good, but it's really not. It's really not that color. Oh, I'm going to keep looking. Excuse my cough, I swallowed wrong. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Oh, what do we have here? Okay, let's try that. This might be pretty. I just used this in a project, so it's a new scrap. Oh, I know what I was going to do. So I don't think we need that, because I'm going to use a piece of the paper here that's going to go on the top layer. I think that's what we'll do. So I'm just going to tear this down a bit. Hopefully there, and then here, and then just that edge, like so. And then that ties everything again together. So we did lose one of our flowers, but that happens. So see how it's gonna make everything look like it goes all together, which is the beauty of kind of thinking about all the tones and the colors that you're putting together, and kind of trying to bring out parts of that into the whole design. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on like so, and I'm going to put her right there because I still want to see those words there, even though they're kind of weird. I want to see them, so that's that. So I'm going to grab a quote here really quick, just a moment, some kind of a word. And then we will be done for today. And I will create some ephemera and put it in the pockets and then take pictures before I post the video. So, oh, I like this. Just be you. Perfect. So I'm going to trim it down. It's a little bit wide for this space. So I'm just going to trim off those ends and then ink it up. Like that. And oh, another piece of lace would be perfect. So let's just get a little piece of this. I tend to go lace crazy, so you certainly don't have to do that. I just really like it. I don't know that I want to, maybe like that, so we can still see that flower peeking through. It's not completely being covered. It's kind of like a tease, you know, a mystery. It's there, but it's hard to see kind of thing. I like that. And then our word, and I will say goodbye. And I hope that you enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too crazy. I tried to make it as straightforward as possible. I just actually tried it myself before I turned the camera on. So I think I got it down okay. But I would love your feedback. And again, I wouldn't do 20-pound paper again. I do not like the feel of this. I don't like how bendy it is. It's just not my thing. So next time I will do a heavier paper. But that is what we've got for today. Thank you so much. Take care. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.